Welcome to the show that talks about Tulsa. People making a difference in the Tulsa community. Special guest interviews spotlighting local businesses to covering important issues within the community no one else is talking about. The hot topics and more. Ladies and gentlemen, this is World One Development's News You Can Use with your hosts, Mr. Charles Harper and the fabulous Damali Wilson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to World One Development's News You Can Use. We want to thank everyone for either listening on the radio, watching us on Facebook Live, or on www.KBOB899.com, or tuning into any of the News You Can Use media networks, which are powered by World One Development. We really appreciate that. I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Damali Wilson.
And I'm Charles Harper. It's Wednesday, a.k.a. Hump Day, May 8th, 2024. And we are live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. We are set for an exciting show, you guys. You better call your mama and them and tell them. You can dial in at 918-856-3873 or post your comments on our Facebook Live feed at World One Development.
On today's show, the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. Our topic, the shortage of African-American medical professionals.
Wow, yep. Also, a political forum is taking place in North Tulsa. Find out the details from Mr. Kamara Washington.
And of course, our Hump Day hot topics, which are a new law for businesses related to alcohol. Find out what. The WNBA was in the hot seat. Find out why. And Boy's Good Deed brings him an unexpected reward. Find out how. Birthdays and more.
This is News You Can Use right here on KBOB 89.9 FM and simulcast on the News You Can Use Media Network, powered by World One Development. You better put your seatbelt on. We'll be right back, y'all.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The Tucker women are up early to prepare a very important meal, or at least that's what Mama said. But as the day wears on, past hurts and old resentments boil to the surface, making a mess of everything. Theater North presents Stew. Stew explores the substance, that special stuff passed between kinswomen, and how the secrets we keep from our mothers eventually become the secrets we keep from ourselves. Don't miss this amazing stage play, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater. Stew is written by Zora Howard and directed by Michelle Cullum. Coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Theater. Get your tickets right now at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Stew. May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center. Damali, quit laughing at me. And now back to News You Can Use. Today is the medical report.
And we are back. I am so sorry, but that just sounds so dramatic. Like, I need to watch that, right? I need to be there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
So
I want to thank you for laughing at me.
So News You Can Use is all about shedding some light on the positive happenings in our community. There are many great businesses, programs, and events are happening in our neighborhood, and we felt the community needed to hear about those things. One, so we can support, and two, so we can be informed.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Charles Harper, Chief Executive Officer of World One Development, which includes Fitting Back In, EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center, 36th Street North Event Center, and Oklahoma Community Support Coalition. My job, because the world wants to know, is to provide leadership for all aspects of World One Development with the emphasis on long-term goals, growth, profits and a return on that investment. And I am so excited and I am so elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
And I'm Damali Wilson, Chief Operating Officer for World One Development. And my job is designing and implementing business operations and establishing policies that promote company culture and vision. I'm also in charge of social media for all of the World One Development entities. If you would like to advertise your business or organization on this show or any of our other individual platforms, please inbox me your contact information on Facebook Messenger so we can talk. I am also happy and elated to be one of the creators of this phenomenal show.
Damali.
What's happening?
It's hump day. What's going on? How you doing?
Listen, this rain, then it's, pouring down cats and dogs, then it's blazing hot, then, hey, I'm over.
Hey, you know what? You got to be thankful.
You got to be thankful.
You got to be thankful and just say, I want to thank you for shining your light down on me.
Just
but
like
see,
the song say.
The way my hair is set up, I don't want that water falling on my hair.
The water you're going to have to deal with. Just be lucky we ain't dealing with some of the stuff other people's dealing with.
Right. Well, you do have a point there. So the tornadoes could be coming in, like pulling my hair out. So, okay, yeah,
you just never know when one of those is going to drop out of the sky.
And I don't want to know.
Man, it makes it for a rough night sleeping.
That's why they call it Tornado Alley in Oklahoma.
So everybody that got those busy professions, prayers for you.
Do you know the other night the sirens came on and I jumped straight up out the bed into my shoes?
Oh, for
I was like, man, it's time to go.
It's like a Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo
right?
moment right there.
Yes.
She was gone.
Out of here.
It was a ghost.
Yes.
I know, and it'd be weird because, my daughter lives down in Oklahoma City and my son, and, I be talking to them, and when the storms are there.
Yeah, for sure.
Now they're going to drive, they're going to creep down the turnpike, like they riding in a 6-3 Impala.
But you know
and
what? It's
rolling down here our way, so you can't go to sleep because
right, you gotta wait
2, 3, 4 in the morning. They coming down that turnpike to come see us.
And the thing about it is, like, where are you really going? Like, if it's dark outside, you can't see the tornado, so you don't know where it's at for real. So it's like, where are you going?
No, it's tough. So y'all be safe out there, man. This is tornado season.
It's hard to beat a tornado.
Man, it's May. It's Oklahoma. That's kind of the downside. But at least it's not an earthquake.
Well, that's true.
Man, I've been in California and felt the earthquake, and I don't want to have nothing to do with that smoke.
You don't want
I can deal with
none of
tornado.
that smoke.
Man, with the earthquake, you really feel like helpless. You're in the building, and it's
you
don't want that.
That's not cool.
But it's a nice day today. It's a nice day. It's pretty good. It's a little humid. It's a little humid, but it's not raining. So if you out and about, man, y'all be careful out there, man. It's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to be here. So we're going to make the best of it. It's hump day. Let's make it happen.
It's hump day. So before we get started, we want to send out prayers to the family and friends of Miss Myrna Daniels.
Yes.
And Jerry Goff. I'm sorry. So we'll talk about Miss Myrna first. She was actually murdered last Tuesday in a senseless act of violence. When we talk about on this station about mental health is real,
right?
Just totally senseless. Miss Myrna, I've known her for years. She worked down at the courthouse, and so many of my courthouse friends, they are calling me, just like nobody can believe it because she's like the nicest, sweetest person of all people for this to happen to. She is not one of those people that you would think about. Her family is just everybody's just distraught.
Yeah,
the whole community.
I only really known her from the Expungement Expos. We did 4 of them, but she was the nicest person. But she was like, look, I can help y'all with everything. But certain people, you can tell when they got a good energy.
Yes.
And she had that. Was her. And I can tell you the whole community, man, from the politicians all the way down to everybody else. Everybody's calling and trying to see what's what. So just prayers, man. We just got to... Man, we don't know sometimes.
You don't know.
Sometimes you just don't know what to do.
And I will tell you, I heard on yesterday that, the guy had, they arrested the guy. He's in custody and, he's been charged with murder. But they are now charging him with a charge comparable to killing a police officer. Yeah. Whatever their charge is, aggravated murder or something like that. Yeah. They're charged because she was a city and county employee. And long term, and so that's what they're now charging him with. So, but just prayers for that family. They will be hosting the 36th Street North Event Center will be hosting her funeral service and repast on Saturday. The funeral service is at 11:00. So we ask that you, anyone who knows her, just send up prayers for her family. Right. And then we also, Jerry Goff is another one of, everybody knows the golf. Everybody around here should know at least one golf because it's a whole herd of them. Yeah. But Jerry Goff actually passed away on Sunday morning. They found him, believed that he had a heart attack.
Right.
He had just been rodeoing and out there, at the rodeo having a good old time. People just have it, and then went to his hotel room and they found him the next morning.
Wow.
So I mean, just terrible.
He was a good cowboy too. Great,
Great,
awesome
Right.
cowboy.
Roping, yeah. He
Taught
was
a
there
lot of
roping and
people how to
stuff.
do their thing.
Yeah.
Shout
So
out to the golf family. That's
Yes.
real tragic loss right
It's
there.
tough when some go back to back 2 people
Yes.
like that, all in the same week like that.
Yeah.
So, but that's what community is for.
Yeah.
So let's be there for each other. Give a hug, a high five, send some little funds if you can.
Yes.
And we're gonna stay here together.
that's right, absolutely. So let me ask y'all this: did you guys see the Denver Nuggets game where Jamal Murray was out there throwing stuff at
That's
him?
JB team, the Denver Nuggets.
That's your team, JB?
No, that
Yes.
is not my team.
Oh, I thought I seen you with the Denver
I
Nuggets.
told you
show.
I'm riding with the Celtics and I'm going for the Thunder.
No.
So I'm rooting for the Thunder to win, but I'm riding with the Celtics overall.
Okay.
That's who I want to see it come down to. I hope it come down to that.
JB switching because I seen him. He was out
He
at the
switching?
basketball court. No, I was riding down, cruising.
Yeah.
And it was late
And
at
he had
night.
that Nugget shirt on?
No, he had a shirt on. He was going, Jokic. I'm Jokic. I'm gonna give you. No, big Jokic. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best on the planet.
What happened to your boy, man? He
Who
is
that?
MIA in the last 2 games.
Who was
Who was
that?
that?
The Joker. He has not been showing up.
You just one had a shirt on, dribbling and shooting late at night.
that was you.
Not
That
me.
That
was
was
you?
not me.
No, he said that was not
That
me.
was not
well,
me.
you know, I just want to tell y'all, Jamal Murray was out there throwing stuff on the
He got
court
fined. What
and
they
got
doing?
fined
$100,000?
$100,000.
Wow.
Man, the man-
$100,000.
I know that. Yeah, and
They
that
should-
sounds like a lot to us, but he get paid $50 million a year.
Exactly. So it's
So
just
for
like
us,
$1.
Yeah, we gonna go hide out. We
$100.
filing bankruptcy
I
behind
know, right?
But you
100,000.
got to be pretty
him.
upset to lose your character and just go berserk on the court.
My
Yeah.
thing is he threw it like a kid that lost control in a high school game. I mean, this is a grown man,
Yeah.
a professional.
Yeah.
And if you look at the video,
I saw it.
Did he
I
throw a
said, what
chair?
are you
he
doing?
tried to
I
hit
was
the. No, it looked like
No.
this pack, man, but this
Yeah.
is slippery, man. The
It was
ice
a
pack.
hot
hot
pack.
pack.
Hot
Yeah.
That's
pack,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't
But
throw
still, you
that.
can't do that.
$100,000 for an ice
Hey,
pack?
hey, listen.
Should have
Listen.
been suspended.
He should have been suspended.
He should have.
He absolutely should have been
Out
suspended.
there acting like a 2-year-old.
Right.
And they lost too.
And the only reason why he acted like that because they were getting smacked.
And they couldn't smack back.
Yeah.
They were
Damali, you
getting
got the
smacked.
stats on that game? You got the score on that
I don't
game?
have a score on that game,
Oh
but I
my
do
God.
have the score on the
They
Boston
lost
versus
by-
Cleveland game.
They lost by like 29.
It's been
Yes, it's
some
been
real basketball
It
being
was like
played.
80.
Man.
I remember they scored only 80. So it was something like 80 to 117.
Something like that.
It
Yeah.
was pretty bad.
I don't remember that score. But I do have the score on the Boston versus Cleveland game number 1.
me
Boston takes it 120 to 95.
That's a good look. That's a
Yes.
good look right
Good
there,
They're
look.
Boston.
supposed to home
But
serve,
what
yeah.
I'm happy about is my OKC Thunder.
Man,
they
they
did
represent.
not disappoint us, sister.
I didn't get to watch the game.
You
last
did
night.
not?
You know what? I went home and fell asleep.
Oh my God.
But all I heard in the mix
What'd you hear?
was
Thunder takes it all.
I heard-
That's that what you heard?
I heard a bunch of this.
Yes, that's right.
JB
I was
be
like-
having the stuff.
Yes.
They showed up.
They showed up 117
Maybe
to
all them
95.
storms and all that thunder we've been having wasn't really actually thunder. It was
That
actually
might have been my
Oklahoma
guys,
City
right?
thunder
So-
doing all that.
Yeah.
In early reports, all the commentators, Stephen A. Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, they were all talking about how Dallas was just bigger than the Thunder, and
They
it
are.
seems
They
like
are.
the Thunder's showing up because
Thunder
to
showed up.
win game 1, that's really in the second round of the playoffs.
Well, really, you supposed to protect home.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you better win game 1. Unlike them losing 2 at home. But
Mm-hmm.
Thunder
But,
will
but
see.
somebody got to win and somebody got to lose.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Uncle Brian said go Timberwolves.
Man, hey, you going with the right ones.
have you guys been entertaining the latest rapper beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
I have not.
Yeah.
You have not?
No.
It's been a sight to see if you love hip hop. Mm-hmm. So Google that.
I
Drake
will.
versus Kendrick Lamar. They've been dropping records against each other for the last 2 weeks.
I kind of like that, you know.
And it
when
has
people do that.
really been entertaining.
Remember the Roxanne beef and remember that back in the day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait till Dr. Perdue gets in here. We're going to have to get his take on it because
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
a huge
Kendrick
Kendrick
Lamar,
Lamar.
fan.
yeah.
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 Yeah. We gonna
Yeah.
We're going to get to it.
All right.
So I want to also give a congratulations to 2 of EduRec's junior camp counselors,
Yes.
Mateo Centino and Gabriel Walker. You'll remember they were on the show probably about a month ago.
Right.
They were shadowing us, but they are graduating on Friday from
Yes.
KIPP Tulsa. So I am so excited for those young men, because they really have worked hard.
Right.
And so Mateo is my nephew. And so I've watched him his whole life, and to just know that he's about to graduate, I'm like, oh my God,
know.
I feel
That's
like
awesome.
old a little bit, but not
Man.
really.
These are the first kids we had at Edgerec
Bruh.
in our
Absolutely.
summer
I know
camp
that-
and
I
spring
know-
break. Little ones.
I told y'all I used to watch y'all when I was a little kid, and I wasn't even
See,
at
there you go.
Edgerec. and
Don't do
then
that. Don't do that. We ain't that old.
No, I'm just saying. I was
Don't
watching
do that.
I was trying to watch y'all progression.
Pushed us into 65 or
I know,
something.
right?
What happened
Like we're in
was
wheelchairs or something.
Yeah.
Don't
no,
do
I'm
that.
just saying in a good way. What it's such got to be so liberating and just to see your hard work
Yeah.
pay off and you see kids taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Hey, the proof is
Yeah.
in the pudding because at the end of the day, man, all kids not graduating from high school now.
They're
It's
not.
rough.
Right
You know,
about
they
that.
done had to go through the pandemic and COVID, and it's been a lot going on in this world. So
Yeah.
we appreciate them sticking to it.
There are programs around this city where kids just aren't learning.
Yeah,
I won't
absolutely.
call any of them out,
Right?
but
Yeah.
I will say there are programs around this city where kids are not learning anything.
Yes.
I don't know if the teachers have given up, but I'm glad Edgerec didn't give up on the kids,
Oh no, we never. We love
especially
the
on
kids.
the north.
In the north. We
I
got
know.
you. We got you with a no.
Let me do some quick shout outs because I know I want people mad at me. So some
Yeah.
quick shout out to Teresa Elliott.
Hey,
Welcome to the
sister.
show. Ernestine Broom is
Hey,
in the
Miss
house
Broom.
with us. Mr. AJ Johnson down there in the J Bone
Hey, AJ.
Lounge down there in Jacksonville,
Hey, a lot of
Arkansas. Sabrina, we're over there at
Hey, Sabrina.
State Farm.
Yes,
Like a good
hey.
neighbor, State Farm is
Uh-uh.
there.
You ain't
Just
getting
like
paid.
that. Kenneth Kool-Aid. Everybody need a cousin
Hey,
named
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid when you get into a street fight.
Right.
I'm calling Kool-Aid. Jessica Brown tuning in from the B-Town.
Hey, hey, hey.
Pastor Lawrence Peoples.
Hey, Pastor Lawrence,
Let
how
me
are
tell
you?
you something.
I've
Let me
been
tell
missing you
something.
in the gym.
Let me tell you something. Now he got some news you can use.
Oh, he got some news
Going
you can use?
hard for Christ Church.
Yeah, what
Going
they
hard
do?
for
What
Christ.
They've been
do?
over there for what, about 5 years, something
Doing-
like that. In
What
a
they
big building.
Doing great work.
Doing great
Doing
work.
great things.
Yeah.
But guess what I heard through
What-
the grapevine?
What happened?
1.5 million. They paid it off in cash.
Yes,
Dead freedom.
congratulations.
You talking about some
Yes.
news you can use? I knew in the gym he was light on his feet. He was
Was
just.
he? Was
I'm
he?
like, man, you
Yeah.
extra light on your feet today. And he just like, man, Brother Charles, man, God is good, man. We paid off our building 1.5 million. And he does so much in the
Congratulations.
community. If you don't know about going hard for Christ or
You better
Pastor
ask
Lawrence
somebody.
people, you better tap in and go over there. They're doing great things for sure.
Yes.
Another quick shout out to Lynette Crawford. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Lynette.
Phil Tatras, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Phil, what's happening?
Uncle Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey, Uncle Brian.
Margot, Miss Maybelle Wallace.
Hey, Miss
North
Maybelle.
Tulsa, Theater North, welcome to the
Yes.
show. Zandra Hall, my cousin, welcome
Hey,
to the
Zandra.
show. I see the rest of y'all.
Yes.
I'ma
It's
come
loaded.
back. It's many,
Yes.
many more, but we got to get into the show at some point.
Got to get into the show. So we're going to hit our Black History Trivia. Remember, no Googling.
Don't Google. Put your
Do
phones
not
down.
Google.
Shut your laptop down. Let's get it.
Okay, so May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and in honor of that, our Black History question is inspired by it. Who was the first African American to receive a PhD degree in psychology?
DJ JB Smooth.
No. Was it A, Dr. Inez Beverly Prosser, B, Dr. Francis Sumner, C, Dr. Herman George Kennedy, or D, Dr. Mamie Phipps Clark?
Who received the first player haters degree in psychology?
Hey, I'm going to the live first. What y'all think? I know y'all's listening in. Read it one more time, Damali, so we can get in here together.
Okay, who was the first African American to receive a PhD degree in psychology? Was it A, Dr. Inez Beverly Prosser? Was it B, Dr. Francis Sumner? Was it C, Dr. Herman George Kennedy? Or was it D, Dr. Mamie Phipps Clark?
What y'all got on the live? Uncle Brian said A.
Uncle Brian says A.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to go with
Inez.
E, Dr. Andre Perdue. That's what it said on the paper. I'm looking at it.
It did not.
It say E,
No.
Dr. Andre Perdue.
You
What
need
you got?
glasses.
I'm going to go with Dr. Herman George Kennedy.
Okay, we're
Kennedy?
going to go with C.
How do you say that?
J.B.
Kennedy?
Kennedy.
Kennedy. Dr. Herman George Kennedy. I'm going to go with C.
Why are you going with him?
Because that is the logical explanation.
All right. Charles, what you got?
What you got? AJ going with D.
AJ says D.
Is
All
that
right.
that's not what you went with?
I want to
No,
see
he
Dr.
said
Herman
C.
George Kennedy.
I really don't know the answer.
You
I don't
really
either.
But he's down there in the J Bone Lounge. And if you ain't been to the J Bone Lounge, you've been there. JB
I
been
have,
there.
I've been
I've been
there.
there. I'm going to go with the wisdom
Okay.
of the J Bone Lounge with Mr. Energizer.
So you're going to go D.
I'm going with D.
Okay.
Dr.
I have
Mamie.
And
no
that's
idea.
your final answer.
Mamie
That's my
Phipps
final
Clark.
answer.
Phil
Yeah.
says A. All right, Phil, I see you.
Man, we're going with the A or D.
Yeah. All right. Everybody else? We'll get Dr. Purdue's take when he gets on.
All right, man, it is the second Wednesday of the month, and everybody know we are always extremely excited. It look like another 2,000 people on this live, and the secret listeners I seen outside are also
Hey,
excited.
hey.
So we're going to get right to it.
All right. So, hey, go ahead. Go with you. Go with you.
Chilling on the corner in my 6'4". Hypertension and stress. I don't need no more. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. The doctor's at the door, ready to make an entrance. The doctor's in. Doctor, please help us save the world. Oh, yeah. It's time for the medical report with Dr. Andre Perdue. Right here, right now. With Charles and Damali on World One Developments News You Can Use. What's up, Doc?
You have the best drop. I'm telling you.
And you see
I
on the
love
live
it.
all the hearts and smiles
Yes.
and
Yeah,
laughs.
that's JB. That's JB.
That's all, JB.
Oh,
We got so
You
many
know,
new
that
listeners.
was your wife.
That was your wife.
Because the original had some rock and roll in it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
something else.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
I
didn't like
remember.
And
that.
she was
And
like,
said
nah,
that's
we,
no.
we can't get jiggy with this JB.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
some
yes,
of the
ma'am.
new listeners from all around the world was like, what kind of doctor do they have there in Greenwood, North Tulsa,
Right.
on Black Wall Street?
Yeah.
Well, we want to introduce him to him, Dr. Andre Perdue. How you doing, sir?
Hey, it's good to be back with your family. I think
Yes.
I missed 2 months.
He was
It-
back
it-
Yeah,
to
it's
back.
been-
but we got you. We put on our white coats and we took over. And
Okay,
it's
hey,
all
hey,
good.
you know what? And I know all the information was all on point. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah, my man, you know how you get something embroidered into your shirt?
Oh,
I was like, Dr. Charles, I ain't put Harp on there yet. If you'd have missed one more show, that was
That's
it.
it.
If that, I got the beard turning gray too. I was getting ready.
Yeah.
But I'm going to leave
Hey,
that. I left
he
it
is not lying.
had my white coat on trying to make it
Right.
happen. It is good to see you, man.
And it's always a pleasure seeing you guys,
Yes.
family. It's
2024
always
has
a pleasure.
been a year thus
Man.
far. It's already May. What is going
Yes,
on?
yes.
Listen, we're going to blink and we're going to be in 25.
Just like that.
Just like that.
In a
Okay, so
minute.
before we get started, we're going to get your take on the Black History Trivia question.
Ooh.
You know,
So-
I'm going to go with B.
You're going to go with B?
Yeah, I'm going to go with B.
Okay. So you should have waited for Dr. Perdue so you could
Francis
bit off of him.
Sumner.
That's
He's
who we
going
going
with
with.
Dr. Francis Sumner. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just like
All right, so
Is
we'll
that your
find
final
out.
answer?
That is my final answer.
We'll find out at the end of the show.
Yes, indeed.
Now, y'all
Yes,
want to change
indeed.
y'all answers, don't y'all?
Not
no.
exactly.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I'm
gonna
going
do
with the
that.
J-Bone Lounge still.
Okay,
What goes
all right.
on in the lounge
Stays in the lounge.
Just
Okay,
like
I got
that.
you.
And I'll tell y'all what, y'all go ahead and start sharing this show right now because we're going to get into a really, really good topic that I know a lot of people want to be able to kind of chime in. There's going to be some news that you can definitely use. I see the hearts going on. Appreciate
Yes.
the love. Lunzel King, welcome to the show. I think
Hey,
in
hey, hey.
Missouri. Something like that. Man, we got a lot of people on. I don't know what's
We do.
happening. So everybody locally, nationally, and internationally, we appreciate you. Nothing but hugs and kisses going out.
Well, you
Amen.
know what? This is just busting the myth, that black folks, we don't care about our health, when
Yeah.
we really do,
It's a
So
lot of
there are a
people
lot
like
of folks
that.
that want to hear what Dr. Perdue has to say. So what we're going to talk about today is the shortage of African Americans, folks that look like us in the medical profession. A lot of
All
times.
right, quick, I'm going to let JB put the mic on. I mean, because, that's a different kind of voice. Dr. Perdue with a white coat
Oh, he's
and
looking
that
like
voice.
he was.
Yeah,
they
it
thought
matched up now.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay,
You
we good. Okay, and so a lot of times, we as African Americans, we choose not to seek professional medical care because we don't trust the system.
Right.
We don't trust that what we're being told or what we are being prescribed is what we actually need. So we just don't go. And then a lot of times what happens is by the time we do get sick enough to show up at a doctor, then
Right.
it's like, you got stage 4 cancer. Ain't nothing else we can do for you.
Oh, you already done had a heart attack. You already done had a stroke.
Exactly.
I know back at home in Arkansas, people were like, man, don't go to the hospital because you go there to die.
Yeah.
And the way they hung on to die, I'm like, oh, man.
Like,
but
it's-
then once I
yeah,
got a little
doomsday.
older and started going, I said, man, a lot of time people go there to die because you didn't go to it. It was about time to die.
Exactly. And
So-
one of the things that we've learned on this show under Dr. Perdue is that a lot of things can be prevented
Man,
if
that's
caught
the part.
in time.
Yes, indeed.
And so one of the statistics that I actually pulled is that in the entire medical profession, only about 5.7% of the physicians in the United States identify as Black or African American.
That is alarming.
That is
to
alarming.
me
Yes, it is.
To hear that stat.
Can you repeat that again for the folks in the back?
Like you.
Yeah.
Okay. Only 5.7% of the physicians in the United States identify as Black or African American.
Doc, what you think about that? Just jump in.
Well, you know what? When you look
I'm
at
scared.
when you look at those same numbers in the 70s and 80s, that percentage was higher. That percentage
Yes.
was closer to 12%.
man.
And at that particular time, there were a lot of major institutions that actually partnered with other African American entities to bring in African American students, because the thought process was then that from a cultural standpoint, the more diversity you have in the medical field, the better the overall care is going to be for all patients.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that kind of moved the needle in the wrong direction was the elimination of affirmative action, because you had a lot of people who are not people of color,
Right.
who viewed the fact that, well, you know what, we should all have the same opportunity. And to some degree, I agree with that. But when you start off a process already behind,
Yep.
it's very hard for you to
Disadvantage.
catch up
Yeah.
unless there are programs that allow you to catch up.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of delayed gratification in the field of medicine. When you look at my undergraduate, graduate, medical school, fellowship training, and all of that, I probably spent somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 years in school. People don't want to do that anymore.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that everybody has to be there for that length of time, but that was what my journey was. So,
Can we ask how were you treated, like in those times, versus someone coming up now
Yeah.
going to school?
well,
He says those times like you're 100
Like,
years old.
you see how he
Are
did
you
us.
getting the, are you getting the
well,
feeling
listen,
that he's making us old?
I rode a horse and buggy to
Doc, can we do
to
this?
campus. So.
Doc, I only want to do this because we got so many new listeners.
All right.
And it's been a couple of months, and they
Yeah.
thought I was you. They started getting us mixed up. And
no,
I
they
want
didn't.
them-
Hey.
So for all the new listeners that don't know, tell them just a snippet about you. Where you're from, school, some of that stuff. So
I'm Andre Perdue. I've been here in Tulsa for close to 9 years now. Originally born and raised in Los Angeles, and spent
Not Compton, but Los Angeles.
well,
Same thing, kinda close. Around the corner.
Yeah, I was around the corner from Compton. Yeah, I ran with some folks who was in Compton. so.
Right.
But I was very fortunate and blessed to do my undergraduate degree and all of my medical training at UCLA.
Yeah.
And so, and one of the things about UCLA had a program called the Charles R. Drew program, which actually was essentially a smaller subset of primarily African American students that was part of the UCLA class. So I believe there was 22 students that was in our Charles R. Drew class, and there were 100 and roughly 20 students that was in the UCLA class. So when you looked at the overall breakdown,
Right.
roughly 150 students, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 of them were African American or were people of color. So
Good number.
exactly. So
Yeah.
you could look and say, hey, you know what? There's someone that we had study groups, and the majority of the students that I studied with happened to be African American. And so you had a built-in structure that helped everyone to succeed.
Right.
But what you have now is you have kind of a sprinkling of students of color in a medical school class, and how you're viewed. Listen, everybody's viewed differently.
Right.
Okay, and so
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and say all I can tell you is what my experience was. My experience. I went to medical school. I was a little older, and
Right.
so me being older, I knew that the goal is to graduate.
Right.
What do they say about the person with the last person in your medical school class?
Oh,
What
man.
do they call them? They call them doctor. Okay, and so you know what the goal is that hey,
Yeah,
you get
the
through the
last person,
process.
yeah.
There you go.
And there's some people that are going to be at the very top end, and there's going to be some people that may come skating in. But you know what? Their life
You made
experiences
it.
and their culture puts them in a position where they can be changers of culture in their community.
Yeah.
So I think one of the challenges that we have today is that we don't have as much of that.
Right.
You have situations where there's not really a great framework to help students of color to be successful.
Yeah.
And you have to be self-motivated. It can't be a matter of, okay, look at me, please help me. No, you've got to be really self-motivated. A lot of times you have to seek out other opportunities,
Right.
whether that be on your campus, whether that be maybe studying with medical students in another in another city or in another community where you may be using them as an opportunity to be in a sounding board. So that's one of the frustrations that those of us that are in the medical field that are of color have, is that there's not a great framework for others to come behind us, but that part of our responsibility is to mentor. And
Yeah.
so, and when we
Yeah.
mentor and we have We have different groups that really kind of pour into the community and pour into the medical school community, particularly as students of color. We can help reinforce some of that.
One of the things that this article that I found as I was doing research about this topic, they say that one of the reasons why the percentage of U.S. doctors who are black remains far below the U.S. population is that black can be traced back to how black people have been historically excluded from medicine. What is your thought about that?
Well, listen, you know what? African Americans have an inherent skepticism when it comes to medicine, and a lot of that is historically based. And listen, you know what? When you're in a office with a physician who doesn't necessarily look like you, who you're sitting down and you're looking for knowledge, how can I help me? How can I help my family?
Right.
And, someone is literally running in and out of the room because they've got to see 25 patients in a 8-hour time span and have lunch and all the other things that kind of goes along with that. And it's not necessarily that the physician doesn't care. The physician is just trying to stay on point in regards to what their needs are. But listen, when you're the patient in that room, I want your undivided attention. I need you to pour into me. I don't particularly care you pouring into somebody else. You need to pour into me.
Right.
And so the medical establishment, to some degree, has made some of those challenges. But listen, you know what? I've seen thousands and thousands of patients with color. When I walk into a room, there's an exhale that I sometimes feel. That. Right. Okay, you know what? This is somebody who may understand my experience, and there are times that I've walked into patients' rooms that are, that are part of the majority, where there may be a little bit of tension until I have that conversation and hopefully break down some of that tension. So, that's why it's so important in all areas of professions that there is true cultural and racial diversity. Because we all walk through this life a little different, and how we walk through this life sometimes is predicated on the color of our skin or what our backgrounds are.
Yeah, we had 2 nurses on probably about 3 weeks ago. They was getting ready for the big nursing initiative and mothers and all of that.
Right.
So when you hear about like the African American women, which is good, they've been texting me. They want to make the show all about African American women, which we love dearly. But they die 4 times more than other races in the hospital. And these are not we was thinking, oh man, you must be in the projects, don't have this. Then we found out that's not the case. Right. This is CEOs.
Well, I think, and that's really the birthplace of our community, our health. That was the birthplace of it, is the fact that, our community does not have great medical literacy. And when you walk into an office or walk into a patient room, or whether you go to the hospital, if you have an understanding, a better understanding of the medical jargon and things to understand, and things to questions that you can have asked, and questions that you want to have answered. If you have that information, it makes the overall experience, you feel like you are a participant and not necessarily just a recipient.
Right.
And when we don't have that, then you put yourself in a position where whatever someone tells you, you're just going to believe it, because you haven't really formulated your own thoughts. You haven't formulated what your own opinions are, and then worked off of that knowledge to get whatever questions you need to have answered. So, I think it's imperative, and we do our race a disservice, and we do our families a disservice when we bury our heads in the sand and then go to the hospital and then find out that we've got stage 4 cancer when we've been walking around with a productive cough for over a year with chest pain and a variety of other things. And then we want to flip the script, and then we want to turn around and say, well, you know what, you go to the hospital to die. Well, listen, you should have come a year ago when your symptoms first started.
Right.
And now if a year had passed and you had gone to different experts and those experts were not particularly helpful, and you felt like you were being removed from the access point in medicine, that's a different issue.
Right.
And that's an issue that sometimes happens, but that's an issue that we in the medical profession, we can fix that. I can't make you come see me, but I know I can have a conversation with you and make sure that you understand what I'm telling you and what we need to do from a plan standpoint moving forward for you.
And that's why Dr. Fadu does not take off 2 months anymore, because he is very long-winded today.
And let me say this. I want to say welcome to the show. Mario Choice tuning in
Mario.
from Fort Worth. He's in here live. And I want to do this thing with the Mythbusters. This is what I do, because I just did my annual. I think Damali did hers. We try to be good examples right here
Good.
on news you can use.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't want him to come on and bash.
But here's the ticket, because I'll tell it.
Listen, I'm not going to bash you on the air. I might bash you in private.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to
Well,
bash
yeah,
you in there.
okay.
You know
Okay,
how to do
good.
that.
And Doc always complete.
Well, now I'm not in the doghouse.
You know it's
So
nothing but love.
So I was good with the little diabetes, little A1C. I was good with the blood pressure thing, but then the cholesterol was kind of borderline. So the doctor said, "I'm gonna roll this out." So I kind of rolled it back, Doc. I ain't gonna be honest. I said, "I'm gonna go to the gym." If you see me sprinting like Cat Williams, don't worry about it. I'd rather try to sprint like Cat Williams than have to take this medication.
Right.
But
real.
I do love to have this show, because then it is a brother that say, "Look, Charles, man, if your doctor say maybe this," but when I read about the medication, being transparent, it's like loss of memory, dizziness, all
Heart
that stuff,
condition,
and I'm like, I'm 50 up in here. And my thought is, here's the ticket. If I didn't have the discipline to not do the things that I see, that I read, that they said, then my whole perception would be totally different, because you can't live like you've been living and then do that. But Doc, how do you, because in my mind, I'm like, man, you get on this and it might balance it out, but how do you, it's like you can't really get off of it. You got to wait. One might equal this, or it's going to make your diabetes maybe go up. It's just scary, Doc. Talk to me.
Well, listen, I get that. And, JB, we getting ready to go to you going to go to a drop?
We can take a break if you want to take a break.
Yeah, why don't we take a little bit of break?
Let's
I'll come
take
back
a quick break.
We're going to pray. We're going to pray. This
Ballistics.
KBOB, 89.9 FM, World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali. We're going to be right back. Should you go and take that medication and not be taking all of the herbal stuff that all your family got. You know they got it for you. Baking soda and water. It'll do it for you. We'll be right back, y'all.
The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the event center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Fitting Back In is a reintegration program designed to help those released from prison to fit back into the community as productive, valuable members of society. They help schedule various classes such as anger management, substance abuse, and mental health. They also work with different programs in the community to provide job training. If you or someone you know needs help with resources in career development, employment, or housing, to find out more information, call 918-592-3500 or stop by 2121 North Harvard Avenue, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
KBOB 89.9 FM World One Development News. You can use Charles and Damali, and we are back. Welcome to the show, everybody. Make sure you keep clicking share. We got about 3.2 thousand just on here.
Yeah.
We probably got about 5,000 people listening all around the world. So we just want to say thank you.
Yes,
Uncle
we
Bobby
appreciate
gave us a
that.
platform. We just trying to make it happen. So we the medical report today. Dr. Andre Ferdu, he's live in here. JB Smooth is DJing today, so we motivated by that. So we had a little question before going to break.
Yeah.
Hey, I went and got my annual checkup. Damali did that because the
I'm
doctor
proud of
spoke
both of
to.
y'all. I'm proud
Thank
of both
you.
of y'all.
The doc
Thank you.
spoke to that, not going to the doctor for 4-5 years and not doing what you're supposed to do. Then when you go late, then you want to block it. He said that's unfair, and that is unfair.
Yeah, it is unfair.
But say when you do go and they give you some news and your knees start shaking a little bit because you got all the natural herb supplements out there and you got all that. So people like, man, I can treat myself. But when your doctor says this is your best plan of action, us African Americans in our community, how do we balance that out? Because nobody wants to take medication.
Well, listen, I get that. As a physician, I'm actually on some medication for blood pressure and for cholesterol, and and my numbers are not catastrophic by any stretch of the imagination. I work out daily, and I watch what I eat and watch what I drink, and so I get that. I think that the most important thing is to be honest with yourself. There's a lot of folks out there that's saying, hey, well, I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and they look the same this year that they looked last year, that they looked the year before that.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, when you now go to the doctor and your cholesterol's in the 250 to 300 range, okay, we've had an opportunity to do something that we have not.
Right.
So we're either going to do something productive or stop talking about it. Right. And so I think that the challenge that there are non-prescription or non-pharmaceutical means of managing cholesterol, managing blood pressure, things of that sort. But you have to commit to it, and you should give yourself a time frame. You may be able to say that, okay, well, my cholesterol is in the 180 range. I want to get down to 150. I'm gonna give myself 3 months with exercise, hydration. I'm gonna be taking omega-3 fish oil, taking 2,000 units a day. These are the things that I'm gonna do, and then get your blood work done 3 months later. And now, and if you see that you've gone from 180 to 155. Hey, I'm moving in the right direction. I don't need to do anything different.
Gotcha.
If you've gone from 180 to 200, it's like, okay, well, I'm going in the wrong direction, and I'm doing the things that I need to do. Maybe I need some help with this process. One of the things about medications is that, and you see it all the time when you're watching a commercial. Where they'll say, take this, this medication is for diabetes. And then they will give you that long, under the breath list of all the different side effects. You know what? As a physician, that would scare me.
Yeah.
But if typically the side effect profile on medications that are given, for blood pressure and diabetes and things of that sort, you're talking about side effects in the neighborhood of 1 to 3% of the time. Okay, you're not talking about 40% of the time. But when you listen to these commercials and you listen to other people, they will lock in on the fact that I'm going to get this terrible side effect. And typically, if you get a side effect, when you stop the medication, the side effect goes away. Not all the time, but the majority of the time.
Right.
So
some of that could be the disclaimer though, because it's always at the end of the commercial, and it's always really said fast. And people don't like to talk fast.
Right. And listen, and the reason why they do that is the fact that they want to cover themselves regarding that medication because
liability issues.
Right, exactly. So you can get sued if you you didn't tell me about the the liability of this, and you know what, and you got millions and millions of people that are watching this commercial every day. So they've covered themselves from a medical legal standpoint. So but I just don't want our folks to put themselves in a position where you get so locked in on what a side effect is that you don't see the benefit of the medication.
Exactly.
And you see that all the time with high blood pressure medications. I don't want to take anything for my blood pressure. Well, your blood pressure is 200 over 120.
Yeah.
And so you walking around with that blood pressure on a daily basis, it's only amount of time before you're not going to be walking around anymore.
That's
or your kidneys are going to fail.
Exactly. Time bomb,
And so, you know what, let's be proactive. Let's try to be as preventative as we can. Let's make sure we pour into the medical literacy component of this and take better care of ourselves, because no one's going to take better care of us than we're going to take care of ourselves.
Right. And I think, Damali, I'll say what throws me off is on the commercial. It's not that they go through it real fast. It's just when they're going through the side effects, they show somebody flying on a private jet, riding on a motorcycle,
so
on a yacht, going with the wind blowing through your hair. I'm like, now y'all trying to pull what is it, JB, a 44 pump fake?
The 42 pump fake.
The 42 pump fake. Okay.
That's how I feel when you do that, because you got your eye gate, your ear gate and all that. I'm like, see, you're not trying to throw me off. Just go ahead and show what it really is. But you said a super good point. I want to make sure the people don't miss is that, hey, there goes the T. Welcome to the show, Mr. Dump, Mr. Mac. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
What you said that was really important is the percentage of those side effects are actually low. Can you just say that part again?
When you list the side effects, or when they're talking about them on commercial, those side effects typically are in the 1 to 3% range.
I never heard that in all my life.
So now things like headaches, dizziness. Listen, you know what? We can wake up in the morning with a headache and dizziness and not take anything.
Right.
And so sometimes depending on the medical condition you have, you can have effects from it, and now you're taking a medication and you're thinking, okay, well, my medication is what's causing my headache and dizziness. Well, you may have had headache and dizziness because of high blood pressure or diabetes or elevated cholesterol prior.
Yeah.
So, again, I think it's important for our community also to know that, look, you know what? If I'm going to say I'm not comfortable with this medical plan, I want to try to do this on my own. Give yourself a finite period of time to do it,
Right.
and stick to your plan. Don't okey doke it,
Right.
and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna lose 20 pounds and get my blood pressure under control, but I'm gonna go over to hit the Fat Mama Soul Shack down the street, and I'm gonna get myself a
That's
fat back
the
sandwich.
do it, baby.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Ain't gonna do like I told my doctor.
Come
I
on
said,
now.
"Look, I'm gonna see you in 90 days." She was like, "Charles, don't go. I'm gone."
Yeah.
But I see now. I'm just saying. But I am in the green though.
But I
I'm
think
not-
that the moral of the story is that, you have to do what you say, and you have to be serious about it. If you're not serious about it, then no one else is going to be serious. And I think for me, the biggest thing has been watching other folks, that who didn't make the right choices,
Like JD put the camera on
and
you, Damali.
because they didn't make the right choices, I see the condition that they're living in. So what quality of life do I want to have for myself?
Absolutely.
And what quality
Yeah.
of life do I want to have for my grandkids? What am I
Right.
showing
And
them?
you know what? And you're a role model. And so when you take care of yourself, your people downline from
Yeah.
you will take better care of themselves because they see you as a role model.
Right.
If you don't take good care of yourself, your downline you will be a negative role model.
Right.
Yeah, and I add this to my life. I know 5 people personally that has gotten prostate cancer, like the last 2 or 3 years personally. So when I went to my doctor, I'm like, "Can I go and take that test? I'm
Yeah.
50. Get that." It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
Because
have
you
to be
don't
good.
want- yeah.
And I was praying, "Amalala, shamalama, shamalama alaikum, please, Lord, thank you, help me."
No.
You know when you get
I
the test done,
cannot.
doc,
I
and look,
cannot.
why they bring the results back so fast?
Yeah.
The results
Yeah.
was back like that
you
evening.
sweating? Was you
I'm like,
sweating
is
like
this
what?
a good sign? I was sweating like a preacher.
Just-
but it
just-
came back good. So
Just a little something to break the monotony of all
Yeah.
that hardcore jazz. Got to be a little bit of out of control. Your take. You was talking earlier about the Kendrick and Drake situation. Who
He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait for this.
Well, listen, you
Yeah.
know what? I actually watched a podcast about that, and they talked about, kind of the origin of their beef, which I didn't realize. And Drake kind of put Kendrick on at the very beginning and kind of put some air underneath his wings. But
Everybody put somebody on.
hey, you're right.
Somebody
You're right.
put Drake on.
Absolutely. And so, I think Drake is kind of taking the approach that, okay, well, you the little brother, you need to always stay the little brother.
Yeah, Drake is the big homie to everybody right now.
Right. But he ain't the big homie to Kendrick. And so-
Lyrically, he is not.
Yeah, he's not.
I have to agree with you on that.
And if you've got ghostwriters, and listen, and maybe everybody may have ghostwriters, that's part of the equation. I don't know.
This is coming from Dr. Perdue, his
Yeah,
breakdown of
yeah,
the Kendrick
yeah.
Lamar
But
and Drake beef.
listen, you know what? Kendrick is so real. Kendrick is just cut from a different cloth. That doesn't mean that the cloth is not as good as Drake's
Right,
cloth.
right.
He's just cut different. And so, and listen, when you having these rap beefs, everybody makes money. Everybody's making some money
for
right now.
sure.
Well, they're
And so-
releasing every track on Apple Music,
absolutely.
on all platforms.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The
Yep.
streams are through the roof.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing millions of views,
Yep,
and when
yep.
you're getting millions of views,
Yep.
you're getting some money.
Yeah, and hey, listen, you got guys like Rick Ross and
Future.
and Future and Meek Mill and those guys. I mean, they're chiming in. Listen,
Everybody's
Yeah.
trying to jump on the
yeah,
wagon.
because you know what? The fact that they're chiming in, you're going to see people that are actually going to be downloading their music. Also,
That's right. Yep.
So, Drake showed up at the hospital and needed your help.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, listen, you know what? I got
See how JB
listen,
folks-
I got nothing but
Childish.
listen.
You are so
I got nothing but
childish.
love for all of those guys. If they were to sit down with me across from me and said, "Hey, you know what? I need you to mediate over this," I would say, "Look, you know what? I understand you guys getting your paper,
Yeah.
but you know what? Understand the fact that you both have had important influences on each other. Whether you put me on or whether you wrote for me, whatever it is, you know what? Just keep it simple."
And
Yeah,
that's
JB
a breath of
keep
fresh
it
air
simple.
from
Yeah,
Dr.
JB,
Perdue.
that's not even the question. The question is if Kendrick Lamar's in the room and Drake is in the room.
Yeah.
Who you going to first?
Who do you save?
Hey, listen, you know what? Listen, let me put it this way.
I didn't say who you
Oh, let me
saved.
put
See,
it
I
this
wanna
way.
see it like that. Who you
Okay,
saved?
yeah. Let me put it this way. I'm talented enough to say both of them.
That's
Come
my
on.
man.
Yes.
Keep
Come
the
on,
gangster.
Doc.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch
So,
gears to
yeah.
a quick. Let's go to the live, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Come
Yeah.
on, get a couple live
Yeah,
questions.
we get in our own world over here. Okay, so Uncle Brian says, what does a doctor think about Wegovy? WECOBY. He said all of the other drugs that doctors are pushing for weight loss.
Well, you know what? I don't have personal experience with Wachovia, but one of the things is, those are typically diabetic medications, and that has been kind of the spin. People took those medications to get their hemoglobin A1C under control, and the way that you get that under control a lot of times is by changing your diet, which means, and as you lose weight, then your hemoglobin A1C can also come down. So, I'm not a proponent of using that specifically as a weight loss agent because, again, it puts stressors on your pancreas and things of that sort.
Right.
But listen, if you have diabetes and that's the medication that's prescribed for you and it helps get your hemoglobin A1C under control and it loses your weight, as long as you're not having side effects, I don't have a problem with that.
So I will say this when we're talking about weight loss. A lot of people have noticed that I have drastically lost weight. And I'm good, y'all. I ain't sick or nothing. I ain't dying.
You cough? Did you cough?
No.
I started to look up.
But at the end, you see, you play too much. You're childish. But at the end of the day, what happened with me is that I noticed that certain people, well, two things. Number one, my birthday was coming up. So when birthday come up, then it's like, okay,
Time to
change
shine.
diet. Exactly,
Everybody do
that part.
Yeah.
But then number two, there were certain people in my life that I noticed, they had strokes.
Yeah.
A couple people had a heart attack, and I'm like, I don't want that to be my end.
And then it was another one that you missed.
Which one?
Chemistry came into your life.
And chemistry, little baby chemistry.
He had to be around for big motivation.
Yes. And so, it's all about being around for your family and the quality of life that you want to have. So I just made the conscious decision. I'm too like Charles. All of my numbers were good, and that's the number one thing that you've taught us is to know your numbers.
Right.
So all of my numbers have been great. My cholesterol is a little high. It's still within range. I'm like you. It's in the green line.
You taking the
but
medication?
I'm still okay. No.
You ran
Absolutely.
too?
I ran from the medication.
I seen you running down Peoria.
Yes,
I know
I'm
what
like,
you was running
no.
from.
Hey, but listen, while you running down Peoria, you lowering your cholesterol.
Exactly.
cholesterol,
And so what I did was started going to the gym
Good for you.
more frequently and watching what I ate. So when I get a plate of food, I just automatically say I'm only eating half of it.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm taking the other half with me.
Now,
and
every
so
time-
now I have lost 32 pounds.
And the fellas be like, who's that lady?
Let's do this real quick. Big Roo said, drastically lost, laugh out loud. Big Roo, welcome to the show. Jalen Henderson, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
Jalen.
Corey Green, that's my
Hey,
guy.
Corey.
Welcome to the show. Others, if I miss you, I'm sorry. I love you, and you know that I do. But we here on the Medical Report with Dr. Andre Ferdu getting into
Rodney
Staying
Bruce
healthy.
said, Doc, just pull your lab coat and just say that Kendrick
now
is
let's do
better.
this for all the students that are in Uganda and all that that's pulling up. Because they said, we
Yeah.
want to talk to the doc a little bit about maybe getting into the medical field, getting into being a doctor and those things. So, like, how has that journey been for you, and maybe what can they expect? This is how it affects me, you personally, family, time, all of that.
Well, listen, what I would say that the key for if I'm talking to my my younger self,
Yes.
okay, and I would say my younger self at 10 years of age.
Right.
I think the big key for if you're interested in field of medicine or anything science related is taking STEM classes. Okay, if you can go to a school that has a STEM program where you're getting science, you're getting technology, you're getting engineering, medicine, you're getting all the things that are foundational pieces for you to go into medicine or go into physical therapy or go into chiropractic medicine or whatever it might be. Focus on those, and it's important for you to do well. You can't go and be mediocre and think that, okay, well, there's going to be an opportunity because of my color, my skin, or things of that sort. You got to put the time and energy in. But those classes, everyone has to take those classes. And when you look at those classes, that information is information that has not been jaded by anyone else's approach on how to look at it, not like history. Okay, so you know what the formula E=mc² is the same whether you're African American, Caucasian, Asian. It does not matter.
It's a level playing field.
It's a level playing field. So if those are areas that if you excel in those areas, you will be seen. Okay. Also, be thinking about mentorship. You know what? I want to mentor more than I do, and it needs to be a calling. But you can find folks that whether it's if you're not in medical school, looking for a medical student. If you're in medical school, you're looking for a physician. If you're a young physician straight out of your practice, look for a senior physician. People that have kind of have walked that walk before, and they can let you know, look, there are potholes here and here. Why don't you take this path? This is a straighter path for you.
Right. How did you decide to go into this specific area, the neuro area?
Well, you know what? it's kind of funny. I went into the field of neuroscience because I was afraid of it. When I went through my undergraduate work at UCLA, I was a fitness trainer. I worked with the track team. I worked with the gymnastics team. I worked with the basketball team.
Right.
So orthopedics was something I felt very comfortable with. I felt like, I may not be able to go into surgery, but I can diagnose. I can tell you what ligament's torn. I can tell you what bone is broken. I can tell you what the course is going to be.
Right.
But when we talked about, hey, somebody had a hamstring tear and it wasn't healing appropriately because there was nerve injury, I didn't understand that.
Oh, okay.
And so for me, because it was something that I didn't understand, I had a fear factor. And since I had a fear factor, I wanted to learn more about it. And as I learned more about the brain and the central nervous system, I fell in love with it. So, an interesting story for me, I had to make the determination of whether I wanted to go into neurology or neurosurgery. I had a mentor who was a very, very prominent, world-renowned, known neurosurgeon who more or less said, you need to go into neurosurgery. And that was right around the time that I met my wife. My wife is on the plane, so God, please protect my wife and my son.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And as I fell deeper and deeper in love with my wife, when I looked at what our path was going to be as a neurosurgeon, I could see elements of my life that were going to be compromised with my wife because of the field, if I chose that field.
Right.
Great field, but I know how the type of husband I wanted to be, the type of father I wanted to be, type of son I wanted to be. So, my wife and I sat down, had numerous conversations, and she said all the right things. Listen, you know what? Whatever you want to do, I'm going to support you. And, I chose neurology because I thought that it could allow us to continue to move in the same direction, and it was part of the neuroscience area.
Right.
Then I discovered interventional neurology, which is essentially a minimally invasive form of neurosurgery, and that was my calling. And UCLA made that come true. Shout out to Dr. Fernando Vemuela, who I know is not listening to the show, but
He might. You never know.
But he is my medical father. He groomed me, he mentored me, he poured into me, and every day I thank God for him.
I can tell you this, Damali, that's why I appreciate Doc so much, because he's been with us for 3 years. Imagine, because other than you, I don't know, I don't have no neuro, nothing, nowhere.
Right.
Ever. I'm 50, I ain't met one and seen one, I ain't heard of one.
Right.
So we don't take it for granted right here in North Tulsa, home of Black Wall Street, to have you here to come talk to the people, speak to the people. Now, you other 1,000 that jumped on, he can't be your doctor. Do this now. Still go. Right, Doc? Got to tell them you're not their doctor, because they'll do that.
Hey, well, listen, you know what? I will say this. We are actively in the process of building out our neuroscience program at Hillcrest Medical Center. And so there are avenues where if you have headaches or you have dizziness or you have multiple sclerosis or other types of neurological related disease, that we have physicians that are in that area. I'm a stroke and vascular guy.
Right.
And so I tend to have more of my practice in that area. But, for my people, I can always give an opinion if need be.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Furter, we appreciate you coming on every week. You always enlighten us, and we, even on matters of entertainment, like Kendrick Lamar.
Just like that.
Yeah.
That just shows you how hip-hop, it don't discriminate.
No. Right.
I don't care what race you are, how old you are, how young you are, it's going to be in you. If it's in you, it's in you.
It's in you, Dina.
Let's
It's in
do
you,
this
Dina.
before we take a quick break. It's a young student that's thinking about going into this field. Give them 3 things they must take with them. Pack this in your suitcase if you're going into this field.
Okay, well, listen, I would say make sure that you have a strong STEM background. I think it's very important for you to have mentors, plural.
Yes.
People that can kind of put their arm around you in difficult times, because, the field of medicine, whatever branch you're going to be in, it's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
It's going to make you doubt yourself at times, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I would say the third thing is to continue to be prayerful. God has a plan for all of us.
Yes.
Right.
Jeremiah 29:11, I have plans for you, and those plans are for good.
Yes.
Right.
And so don't ever let somebody put you in a pigeonhole you and tell you what you can and can't do, because
That
God
part.
has a greater plan for you than any mere mortal, including your parents, including your siblings, and including other people who may say that they're in the field of of medicine, or maybe even in the field of clergy, and say that you can't. You know, God has a plan for you, so lean into your plan.
Just like that. We got another special guest that's live in studio because it's a forum coming. We try not to get too far into politics, but hey, this year in 2024, you got to get in there.
Yes,
at least know what's going on. We're going to come up with that special guest here in a few moments. It's KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Coming up next, Mr. Kamara Washington going to tell you where you can go get some information about these politics that's going on. We'll be right back, y'all.
And that was the medical report.
The Tucker women are up early to prepare a very important meal, or at least that's what Mama said. But as the day wears on, past hurts and old resentments boil to the surface, making a mess of everything. Theater North presents Stew. Stew explores the substance, that special stuff passed between kinswomen, and how the secrets we keep from our mothers eventually become the secrets we keep from ourselves. Don't miss this amazing stage play, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater. Stew is written by Zora Howard and directed by Michelle Cullum. Coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Theater. Get your tickets right now at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Stew, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947. The 36th Street North Event Center is a full-scale event center where we share the experiences of the community. At the Event Center, you can rent space for weddings, birthday parties, receptions, concerts, Greek events, quinceañeras, and much more. We also do custom decor, linen, and centerpieces. We're located at 1125 East 36th Street North. To book your next special event, business gathering, or community event, call us at 918-200-9046.
Party people!
KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Charles and Damali, and we got a party going on over here on KBOB. No, we ain't gonna do it like that, Damali, but we are back.
I know this is like the wrong song to play. Like everybody want to get up and dance. Doc is dancing. We like, hey.
When my partner coming here, I had to bring. He said, "Charles, you gonna bring me in, right?" I said, "I got you. Don't worry about it." Hey,
y'all about to start stepping, right? You know,
we gonna step a little bit. Yeah. Some different colors, but different steps.
It don't matter.
But you gonna get the energy and you gonna get the vibe. Either way it go, man. I am so excited to have my friend, my partner for 2+ decades. Minimal. Good brother, great brother. We compete against each other, but we talk about the Lord with each other. We got families and all that, man. It's been a beautiful thing, and that's why we are better together. None other than Mr. Kamara Washington is live in studio. What's up?
What up?
Once again, one more again.
He's in there. He still owe you lunch.
Yeah, you do. You
What's
owe
up?
me lunch.
Both of y'all lunch.
You owe us both
Charles
lunch.
has been the problem.
Oh, Charles, we
See how it goes.
might have to talk direct. Skip it.
Hi, my name is JB. How you doing?
Welcome yourself to that little dinner, because I know we gonna eat good if we gonna
Right.
eat. Man, it's 2024, man. How you been doing, man?
Been doing good, man. Been a lot going on. It's like drinking water out of a fire hydrant right now.
It's coming in.
With my family, but everything's been great though, man. I have no complaints at all. Like you said earlier, 2024 is going to be gone pretty soon.
Yes.
So y'all better hold on.
Yes, absolutely.
Only because there's so many people on. Hey, welcome, Tina Carter. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey.
Just give them a snippet, whatever you okay, telling people about yourself, just so they know who they listening to.
No problem at all, man. Kamara Washington, married, 2 children, 2 beautiful kids, who are both graduating in the next week.
What schools?
My son, Kamara, is graduating from Hampton University.
Yes.
And then my daughter's graduating from high school, Broken Arrow High School.
Okay, congratulations.
So
That's awesome.
We are busy right now. We're on roller skates.
Oh, my God.
Look, Damali, and I've been knowing both literally since they were born.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So
That's
time
awesome.
is kind of like snap, but it's all good. Okay, go ahead. So you got something that we consider very important going on. So that's why we want to, off our platform, to have you come in so this is listening audience can show up, listen, ask questions, all that stuff. So what you got going on?
That's great, man. I appreciate the opportunity, the platform. I really wanted to come and highlight something that my organization, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the Xi Omega chapter here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street Qs.
Yes. I love it.
You see how I did that? Ain't gonna make eye contact.
Yeah.
You see, Damali wore all this purple.
She already know.
I'm gonna let y'all have it.
I'll let you slide.
You let me slide.
But seriously though, we wanted part of our cardinal principles are manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift.
Right.
And that last one is uplift. It's really focused on the community, giving back to the community, and providing for the community. So there are 2 candidates that reached out to us, and we was asking ourselves, how can we help out the community know more about these candidates?
Sure.
So we said, let's do a town hall.
Right.
I know most organizations or most places say, let's do a candidates forum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
different.
said town hall simply because we wanted the community to have an opportunity to speak directly to these 2 candidates and have an intimate space for them to be able to ask questions, hear their platform, and hear directly from these 2 candidates.
Yes.
Right.
You know, and so that is awesome, Kamara, because that's what we try to do. Normally, we do something called Politics 101, where, you know, because this is an election year.
A big one.
And so we typically go from president all the way down to all of the local elections that take place, because what people don't realize is those local elections, everybody want to vote for the president.
Exactly.
But it's like the president really doesn't affect your day-to-day living.
Does not.
It's all of these lower level offices that affect what actually happens with your life on a day-to-day. So I thank you guys for doing this, because now this brings that educational component back to our community, so that people are not just getting there and saying, oh, I recognize this name, so I'm going to vote for him. But you don't even know what that person's platform is. You have no clue.
At all. Or the down ballot people that just go check one box and then they're done voting. So this will give an opportunity for them to be educated, an opportunity for them to hear from those candidates and understand what those candidates are planning on doing for this particular community.
Yes.
And the reason we're doing it is because it's in one of the candidates is House District 73, which is the heart of Greenwood.
Man.
And Ronald Stewart Jr., who's a current fireman from Tulsa, is running for that position.
Okay. Yeah.
So he reached out to us, and we said, yes, we'll help out. And then the other candidate is Monroe Nichols, who's a Tulsa mayoral candidate.
That's big, too.
Yeah,
they both reached out to us and came and spoke to our organization, and we was like, let's see if we can help them. Not necessarily we're endorsing them, but let's help them reach the community, and let's provide a service for the community at the same time.
Right.
So this event's going to take place at OSU Tulsa.
Yes.
North Hall tomorrow at 6:30, from 6:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
There will be refreshments provided. So we're hoping it's a space where we can have, I think, up to 250.
250.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a huge space. So we're expecting the community. We want the community to come out and have dialogue with these candidates and have an opportunity to really speak to them.
So that's current State Senator Regina Goodwin's seat.
Yes.
That he's running for. Stewart is running for.
Right.
And then, of course, the GT Bynum is he's done after this goal.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so that's what Monroe Nichols will be running for.
Exactly.
2 very, very important, seats here in our community. So you really need to, if it wasn't on your calendar, put it on there now.
Put it on there now.
It's tomorrow. Again, the location and what room, because you get to these colleges, you don't know where to go.
No problem.
Tell which door to go to through the handicap zone.
Right, yeah.
OSU Tulsa, North Hall is in the auditorium. The address is 700 North Greenwood Avenue. And again, it's North Hall, the auditorium, so it's the building on the north side of Greenwood.
So let me ask this: is there an opportunity for a virtual presence, or have you guys discussed that at all?
We thought about it. We just didn't have the bandwidth as far as our organization to actually set it up with the university for Zoom or anything like that for a webinar. So. This will just be in person, so we hope people can have the opportunity to come out and actually listen and be able to engage with the candidates.
Yeah,
right. And a lot of people you just realize, man, especially when somebody running for mayor, you just got to understand. If you don't understand it, the mayor is the CEO of your city.
Right.
He manages the budget. So whether that bar, that school, no matter what's going on, he the CEO. So if you don't know what to ask, just think about a CEO that's running a corporation, and the things you see in your community, whether it's streets, whether it's school, whether it's no matter what it is, those are the things you want to come to the table with.
That his or her hand is involved in
some way, somehow.
Well, and the thing about it is we can always find, plenty of questions when there's something wrong, right?
Exactly.
So the things that you see wrong and the things that you don't like, that with this past or this current administration, those are the types of questions that you want to ask, that, a person trying to run for, run for office, and potentially be new administration.
Exactly.
Those are the things. What is your position? Where do you stand on this, and this?
Who's going to be our moderator? Because, sometimes it get hot.
Yes.
In the spot. So who going
We will
keep
have
things
we will
calm and
have
cool.
a very dynamic moderator. The pastor of Friendship Baptist Church, Jamal Dyer, will be our
Whoop
moderator.
whoop. Yes.
So we
Yeah.
know he will have the
Great
ability to
moderator.
maintain and control the,
yeah.
the room.
Yes. Yeah, he will. Yes, he
Come on,
will.
said he very
if he don't take
confident.
us to church, but
Right,
He don't take you to
exactly. That part.
One of the
That's
two.
your worry right there.
And I think that's big to have that, because a lot of times when things go on, the first thing people say is, "Where's the church?"
exactly.
Where's the church, man? And all of this stuff is going on. So shout out to Pastor Jamal Dyer, Pastor
Yeah.
Jay, that we all appreciate, and he
Yeah.
has been a pillar of the community.
Yes.
He's in the mix. He know about politics.
Yes.
And he'll know. If you don't know what to ask, he'll know what to ask.
And the unique thing about it is, you think about Ronald Stewart, a son
Right.
of North Tulsa.
Right.
Jamal
Yeah.
Dyer, a son of North Tulsa.
Yeah.
So they have vested interest in having this dialogue and,
Right.
and being involved in situations like this.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I'll say this, and I'll switch it to Doc just for a second. Brothers in politics, man, it's not just that. A lot of times when it comes to politics, we don't even have nobody look like us that even run. So how do you
Exactly.
feel when you got African American running for state senator and running for mayor of the city of Tulsa? Has never had a black mayor, an African American mayor ever.
Nope.
In his whole history, that's the issue right there. But anyway, what do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Well, I think for our community, the area where I think the greatest growth is going to ultimately occur in the next 10 to 15 years is going to be North Tulsa. So to have a mayor who has a presence and understands the importance of not only North Tulsa, but there being a strong African American representation in the building of North Tulsa, the imagery of North Tulsa, and how it's projected through not only in the state of Oklahoma, and not only nationally but globally is incredibly important. So this is an opportunity for those of us to vote, to get out and vote, and make sure your questions get answered, because just because you have a person of color doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to have the same agenda you're going to have.
Correct.
But it helps when someone comes from the community, they understand the grassroots issues in the community, for them to then want to get back and pour into that same community.
Just like that. Some quick shout outs. We got Tina Carter, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Mom is on. Your
Hey,
mom,
Mom.
my mom, welcome to the show. We got Gail Butler. Gail, that went with
Gail,
us to
how are you? Uganda. Yeah.
Rose is on.
Yes,
Janice
hi, Rose.
Wortham is on. Mr. Johnson is on.
Hey,
Pamela
hey.
is on. Javon is on. Donnell Hawkins.
Hey, Donnell.
I got some spades and dominoes
Don't
up
start,
in the
don't
studio.
start
you wanna
that.
see
I'm
us in
watching.
spades.
I do.
Uh-oh.
I
You
do.
saw
This
I
sound
do.
like a
I'm
challenge.
dominoes.
Here we go.
I'm dominoes.
Okay,
Dominoes.
now. Okay, now.
We got the
Dominoes,
trophies. We got the
You
trophies.
kinda
Uh-oh,
ran
see?
up
That was a
the-
warm
Here
up.
we go.
That was a warm up. I was eating that Rubicon.
He said, "I was
was
eating."
unfocused. Real quick before we switch gears, because it is critically important this year. Why is it important to vote, though?
It is so important to vote. When you really, I know, well, especially a lot of our youth now, they get lost in the fact, well, vote don't count.
Right.
But it really does.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you have not learned anything over the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years,
Your vote's
your vote
important.
matters.
Yes.
Your vote matters, because you got to look at the political makeup that we have right now.
Right.
And we're not represented.
No.
We're not represented. And so the only way we're going to get represented is if we get out and vote. And the only way you're going to get out and vote and learn about what's going on is going to stay engaged and get involved in town halls and forums like this, where you get to learn about the candidates.
Yeah.
And then you can make a good, sound, educated, and informed decision. So it's important to vote.
Yeah,
What
and
about you,
everybody,
Damali?
everybody needs to understand that what we're voting for today is for our kids tomorrow.
Yes.
Right.
It's not even really for us today.
Yeah.
But we need to be responsible and help make those decisions so that our kids will have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So if you stick your head in the sand, then we're going to get what we've always got.
Yep.
Think about, and if you think about it, not just local, but if you think about what happened in Georgia and some other places, man, these things are coming down to 1%.
Yes.
They literally coming down to
Yes.
30 votes, 50 votes, 10 votes,
Yeah.
so these votes are getting a lot more tighter. And here's the ticket, whether it's the mayor or anybody from the president on down, a lot of times our vote is the determining factor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They've figured out in the last 2 to 4 years,
Yeah.
our vote matters. That's why they're having this huge process where they're trying to scrub the rolls and
Yeah.
And doing all
Yeah.
of
and
that.
all that, because our vote matters.
Yep.
So we got to get in. We got to stay engaged. We got to vote.
See,
And
it'd
then-
be like a 50-50 to here we come rolling up
Yeah.
with a few votes.
And then let's
But
make sure that we
that number.
also understand that just because you have been justice involved, that does not mean that you cannot vote. If you have served your time, did all of your probationary requirements and all of that, you too can vote.
That's true.
Okay, State Representative Regina Goodwin was one of the ones that was blowing the whistle on that and sounding the alarm, saying, hey, we need to clarify this law to make it where people understand that they, too, can vote. They're not just because you got into some trouble and did whatever you did. As long as you do whatever you need to do, that was prescribed by law for you to do in order to get back into the good graces of community, then, hey, you can vote. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't. Check it out for yourself.
Yes, and with that being said, Miss Duncan, welcome to the show. She
Hey,
did
hey,
the
hey.
rebuild of
Hey,
Black
Kara.
Wall Street with
Kara,
Oprah Winfrey
yeah.
and Morris Chestnut and all them, and Willie D. Willie
Hey,
D
hey.
is in the building. I don't know if it's that Willie D.
No,
But Willie D.
man,
Shannon,
that Willie D.
Senior, welcome to the show. We're going to take a real quick break. Again, we're going to take a picture.
Yes.
We're going to get this information. We're going to share it on all of our platforms. Was it a final thought? Follow the process? Anything else you want somebody to know before we take a quick break?
Quick check,
Just
Doc.
one more time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, Town Hall tomorrow, OSU Tulsa, North Hall, Auditorium, 6:30 to 8:30. Be there. Let's hear from these candidates.
Yes.
And
Just
Doc, someone is asking if they trying to get in touch with you to talk in detail further about situations with them. How do they get in touch with you?
Let's do that, JB, at the end, because we're going to give him an opportunity to go ahead and give all of his information. So we're going to take this quick break, and then we'll come back
Then
with
I'm
that.
gonna follow. Okay,
Yeah.
well, coming up next, we got the Hump Day Hot Topics.
Yeah.
KBOB 89.9 FM, World One Development News you can use. Good job, Mr. Kamara Washington.
Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I feel the love.
EduRec is a youth and family fun center located at 5424 North Madison Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At EduRec, we offer a host of activities for children and families of the Tulsa community at little to no cost. To find out about the many programs, activities, and services offered at EduRec, please visit our website, www.edurectulsa.com, or just give us a call at 918-430-3947.
The Tucker women are up early to prepare a very important meal, or at least that's what Mama said. But as the day wears on, past hurts and old resentments boil to the surface, making a mess of everything. Theater North presents Stew. Stew explores the substance, that special stuff passed between kinswomen, and how the secrets we keep from our mothers eventually become the secrets we keep from ourselves. Don't miss this amazing stage play, May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, Liddy Dungeons Theater. Stew is written by Zora Howard and directed by Michelle Cullum. Coming to the Tulsa Performing Arts Theater. Get your tickets right now at TulsaPAC.com or call 918-596-7111. Stew. May 18th and 19th, and May 25th and 26th at the Tulsa Performing Arts Center.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The all-new KBOB 89.9 FM, Black on Black Community Radio.
And now it's time for the Hump Day Hot Topics with Charles and Damali.
hey, guess what day it is? Hump day! Hump day! It's hump day!
Hey, Mike!
It's the Hump Day Hot Topics on News You Can Use.
Mike, my favorite.
Just like that,
Yes.
and we are back. Quick shout out to Elvis Stewart, my frat, tuning in
Hey.
from Little Rock. Welcome to the show. Also, Clifton Allen and
Hey.
Gary Lee over there
Hey,
at the
cousin.
Oklahoma Eagle. Welcome to the show. It's the medical report with none other than Dr. Andre Fairdew, still live in studio. Mr. Kamara Washington hanging in here for something that he got going on. But we got to get into these Hump Day Hot Topics. They're going to join in.
Yes,
Let's
Hump
go.
Day Hot Topic number 1. So there is a new Oklahoma law that removes the requirement for businesses to check IDs before serving alcohol. Governor Kevin Stitt signed a new law earlier this week that may affect your next trip to the liquor store. It's called It's called Odell's Law, which was signed into law on Thursday.
Odell's Law?
Odell.
Okay.
Let me tell you who Odell is. And we're going to tell you who
Beckham
he is.
Jr.?
No.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's not. Stop it. So it removes the requirement for businesses to check IDs before serving alcohol to customers. The law is named for a 90-year-old man who was denied a beer because he didn't have his ID on him. Odell's Law will remove the cumbersome requirement to check somebody's ID before selling them alcohol, allowing people over the legal drinking age to purchase alcohol even if they've forgotten their ID or don't wish to show it. The bill was passed by the Oklahoma House on March the 5th by a 69-25 vote, and the Senate by a 44-1 vote on April 25th. The new law will go into effect on November 1st.
Right around the corner. I
Look,
don't know
everybody,
what to do with this
look, okay, look, everybody is just like, what?
I'm calling Odell.
JB, you say something first. We gonna give it to the J. What
JB,
do you think about
What state is this in?
Oklahoma.
You talking about what state? This is Oklahoma.
I haven't heard nothing about that. I have no comment.
Well, that's why you
That's
too
why.
have to tune in to World One Development News because you find something. What gets me is when I hear something that is like logical to do this and it's just really illogical. I don't even know what to say.
Right.
What is your first thought before we pass? Now y'all can always plead the fifth, but we just passed the hot potato.
Listen.
It's your governor now, Governor Kevin Stitt. Your governor.
So, first of all, my number one question. First of all, if you're 90 years old, okay, that's a no-brainer. But what about these kids that are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There are kids
that are borderline in age.
Exactly.
I mean, we got 13 and 14-year-olds that look like they're 20.
Looks like they're my age.
Yes,
you know?
right. So they put some lipstick on, or they put a hat on, and they can walk into a bar at 14 and get a drink. That makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
Beard.
Some of these basketball players that I'm watching playing,
especially in high school.
Like, what in the world? You know, they look like, you guys age.
This is the dumbest law ever.
CJB, it didn't take
There
your
it
much.
is.
He didn't. It took JB 5 minutes just listening to that.
Okay.
But you have to ask yourself, do we not have anything else we can focus on in Oklahoma?
Yeah. We actually spent meaningful time talking about that.
Well, and apparently,
those are heartbeats I'm never going to get back.
69-25 vote by the House and 44-1. So there's not much thought about it. Everybody's like, we agree.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking, Kamara. I was thinking because I don't drink, I didn't get it. I said, you know what? I've never drank, so maybe I'm just missing it. So let me wait. But based on y'all responses too, I'm sitting here not saying that y'all drink, but it's not just me.
Discrimination
thing? To me, as we talked about before, about when you're passing laws or passing bills, it really affects our kids. I only care about the kids.
Right.
Listen, if you're 90 years of age, I guess if you can walk into a bar, then you know what. Now the thing is that what's going to happen when you are staggering out the bar?
Exactly.
Are you going to stagger out of the bar and go to your car?
Right.
At 90 years of age, or 80 years of age.
What?
But we have to protect children, and if and what's going to happen when a child ends up getting
Alcohol,
a drink
poison,
and then something out of the ordinary happens to that child, it's going to be a lawsuit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Real quick, welcome to the show, Perry Harding.
Hey,
Many
Perry,
our
prayers for
sister.
you. Yes.
Absolutely. Read it one more time because people are going, what? Tell her, read that again. Is that even true?
Okay.
We are not being a good representation of Oklahoma because people is tuning in from everywhere.
Yeah.
But this is just what the law is. So just in case you end up here.
So the thing that we talk about all the time is how laws are enacted to, that make no sense, and they're on the books forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead
So
and share
this is a new law that was just enacted earlier this week.
In the state of Oklahoma.
Our Governor Kevin Stitt, signed a new law, and I'm just going to read the article as it is so that none of my bias is reflected. Governor Kevin Stitt signed a new law earlier this week that may affect your next trip to the liquor store. Odell's law was signed into law on Thursday, which this was last week, removing the requirement for businesses to check IDs before serving alcohol to customers. The law is named after a 90-year-old man who was denied a beer because he didn't have his ID on him. Odell's law will remove the cumbersome requirement to check somebody's ID before selling them alcohol. I'm just trying to figure out how it's cumbersome, but anyway.
That's what I was thinking too. That's a
allowing
strong word.
People over the legal drinking age, but how are you going to know that they're over the legal drinking age?
It's up to the company now, the business, to stand up and uphold the checking of IDs for anyone you think is underage, because it is a little bit of an insult to get asked for an ID when you're trying to buy some cigarettes or a beer and you look 60 years old or 45 years old. It's a little bit of an insult. And some of those people on that other side of the counter be looking 21 or 19. Asking
I'm
you
going
for
to just
your
tell
ID.
you, if somebody asks me for my ID, I'll gladly give it to you.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's like killing a fly with a hammer, though. You know what I'm talking about? Meaning, I understand it, but you don't need that.
Listen,
Like,
you know what? I have a hard time believing that this 90-year-old man walked into a bar,
Right.
and he didn't get served because of his age.
And he's
Right.
90.
Yeah, there's something
we
else.
call that a-
There was likely something
was
else
something
behind
else.
that,
I
but then they spin it, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, you didn't have your ID.
Uh-huh.
we
we-
call that a
I-
humdinger around here in Oklahoma.
We have to read it one more time, but we got to switch gears. What's
Yeah,
the other
please.
hump day hot topic?
All right, so I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but the WNBA was under fire.
Right.
Because they did not televise Chicago Sky's first preseason game. You know, that's the WNBA team that Angel Reese and Camilla, what is Camilla's last name? Cardozo.
Cardozo.
They were both drafted for, but they of course showed the game that Caitlin Clark
Right.
was drafted for, or the team that Caitlin Clark was drafted for. So there was a whole big hoopla about it. But check this out. Chicago's first preseason game against the Minnesota Lynx was shown or live streamed by a fan, and the live stream received more than 2 million views.
Yeah.
Charles did that one day.
Thing. So this is the thing. When you realize that you're missing out on money, you see, now we're going to live stream it. So now the next game is going to be live streamed.
Yep.
But you thought Caitlin Clark's game was going to draw in more money. Now you
Right.
realize, well, maybe we should have did that.
Well, I'll say the women's basketball at the time was just, it was so much energy around it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It just happened to be more watched than men's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
So
Yeah.
to see somebody get 2 million streams, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
It's not
That's
it's
crazy.
not unachievable. I think you did that one time, or someone in our circle did that, and their video got 1 million views, and it's it's crazy.
You're right.
But the ticket they was all first rounders.
Yeah.
On one side you got the national championship
Right.
from LSU last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Then this year, of course, South Carolina won it all.
Right.
So in your mind, you're thinking it's only logical that
Game should
That
be.
game should be televised.
Televised.
Yeah.
Period.
Duh.
Now Caitlin Clark is a sniper.
Yeah,
and I can't
she
take
is,
that
and
away.
I can't take
we
nothing
have
away
no
from
problem.
her.
But now, like you said, but you make it about money and about not doing right. Come on, what you think about it? What you think? Huh?
I don't know what. Let me
Just think about it.
Well, because
Now,
I don't know. I'm not a. Caitlin Clark again is a sniper.
Yes.
But we see the writing on the wall. They're trying to make her the face of the WNBA.
Right.
That's what
I
they're
don't
trying to
know necessarily if she gonna be the face.
She gonna be
No.
able to do that. Right.
Well, ultimately,
Too many sisters in
listen.
line.
Ultimately, what it comes down to is to be the face, you're gonna have to ball.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
Right.
what? And listen, and she's an outstanding player. She fits kind of the New York mold of what they would want the league to look like.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Angel Reese actually, had a challenging year her senior year because of she was a little bit more in your face and things of that sort.
Right,
But
right.
listen, what it comes down to is that if you can ball, you'll be the face.
That
and,
part.
And if you can't ball, you won't be. So
And my final thought is LSU was a champion.
Right.
South Carolina, they was a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was a runner-up both times.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's still a little. It depends on how you want to paint
Political.
the narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
But listen, the WNBA getting any publicity
It's a good
is a good
thing.
thing.
It's a good
That's
thing.
a good thing.
Yeah. We must
So
admit that.
listen,
We can agree.
you know what? 3 months from now, when they're in the middle of their season or they're in the playoffs, people aren't going to remember this, and they'll be
Right.
live streaming everything.
I don't know, Doc.
Everything.
I don't know, Doc, because she does hold the record for most points in
We took
Now
care of
we
that
done
last
talked
week.
about that last week.
She does.
Now we done talked
See,
about
that's
that.
why you gotta.
she's a record holder.
No,
She's a record holder.
She's a record holder on their books,
but not the
but
real
not
books.
the real record.
In 2024.
She's a record holder on their books.
Okay.
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 Yeah, in
I'm gonna
2024.
leave it that one
If you
alone.
know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you don't,
Yeah.
if you
I'm
don't
just
know,
saying
you
that's
don't
why
know.
they're making a fuss of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, real quick, Valerie is on here. Valerie
Valerie,
Harding,
hey,
welcome to the
sis.
show.
We're
We love
praying
you,
for
miss
you.
Nothing but
Yes.
kisses and hugs.
Yes.
Nothing but kisses and hugs. I'll leave it
Yes.
at that.
All
Okay.
right. So we're gonna jump off into this Black History trivia.
Who got it right? Who got it wrong?
Yes.
Did you want to take a shot at it?
Did you
Before we
hear the
say-
question? No. Were you here?
I heard the question.
we heard
I was
the
here.
question.
Okay.
I was trying to get Charles to answer. He wouldn't.
What is
Oh, he wasn't paying no attention. What you think? Okay. So I'm gonna say the question, and then you tell me what
What did
your
he
answer
say
is.
is my new answer? I'm just gonna say that because you ain't said it yet.
All right. Here we go. Black History trivia question.
He said he already heard it. We ain't gotta read it.
No, we've got to read it to the people though.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, what
Come
you
on.
talking about? Okay, Black History trivia question. Who was the first African American to receive a PhD degree in psychology?
Player haters.
Was it Dr. A, Dr. Inez Beverly Prosser, B, Dr. Francis Sumner, C, Dr. Herman George Kennedy, or D, Dr. Mamie Phipps Clark? Kamara, what you got?
B.
I got what he
Say
got.
B.
I got what he got.
You already
I
said
got what he
B.
got.
You can't change.
No, he was walking too
You
high
don't
and
even
tall
have
when
an
he sat
eraser.
down.
You got an ink pen.
I got
bro.
Charles. I got Charles recorded from earlier. He said
That wasn't me. That was that AI. What's that
It
AI?
wasn't me.
That was the AI. The AI done took over everybody's.
Well, if you said B, you would be correct.
Just like that. Me and Kamara, we in there.
Francis, and I'm going to read this because I think it's some great information.
Don't read the book.
Nah,
was it-
hey, but I
we
got
had
to
to
read
get
it.
the degree from
So,
Penn?
Just give us a high level.
So Francis Sumner, PhD, is referred to as the father of black psychology because he was the first African American to receive a PhD in psychology.
Freeze. His wife was a doctor of psych. See there?
She's a psychiatrist.
She's a psychiatrist. See there? I wouldn't even
He
see that.
said freeze. I'm like,
I
what?
had to freeze because you know when something happened, I got to figure it out why real quick. I'm like, that's his wife, Phil. I don't even know why I didn't. I should have made eye contact immediately.
Right.
But I said
You
B
sit next to
before
him
you
in
said
Rogers.
it.
He-
I'm tripping.
You beat yourself.
That,
Yeah, he beat himself.
it's that law that Governor Stitt passed.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some on the way. No, I'm just playing. Y'all don't know that? Don't record that. No, I'm just
He
playing.
done outsmarted his own self. Okay.
Welcome to the show, Mario. Go
So
ahead.
check this out. Sumner was born in Arkansas in 1895,
And in my
as a
state.
teenager with a high school education, he was able to pass the entrance exam to Lincoln University and graduate magna cum laude with honors. He later enrolled to Clark University to pursue a Bachelor of Arts in English in 1916. After graduation, he returned to Lincoln as a graduate student and was mentored by Stanley Hall. Although he was approved as a PhD candidate, he could not begin his doctoral dissertation because he was drafted into the Army during World War I. Upon him returning from the war, he re-enrolled in his doctoral program at Clark, and in 1920, his dissertation titled The Psychoanalysis of Freud and Adler was accepted. He became a professor at various universities and managed to publish several articles despite the refusal of research agencies to provide funding for him because of his color.
And that's your hump day story of the day.
Stop it.
Let's switch gears. We're going to get into the
Yeah.
upcoming events. Get your pen and your pad out real quick. This is stuff that is going on. We're going to come back to Kamara, let him reinforce that. We might get Doctor give you 3 more pointers to keep you on track with your health. Come on.
Yes. So upcoming events. The 36th Street North Event Center has dates available. If you're looking for a place to hold your wedding, birthday party, banquet, repast dinner, community event, etc., give us a call at 918-200-9046 to reserve your spot. EduRec Youth and Family Fun Center is now taking registration for summer camp scheduled for June 3rd through the 28th, 2024. You can go to edurectulsa.com/camps to register. We do have some scholarships available. There is a form that you must complete to be eligible for a potential scholarship.
And anybody, we got kids on the roof, they digging under the ground, they in the back of the football along the fence. So
Not on
any
the roof.
company, any person that can give a donation to help with this operation, look like we're going to have about 150 kids, and we don't want to turn around no grandma, no grandpa, no nobody this summer at EduRec.
As you have already heard, there's going to be a candidate town hall that's going to be taking place on tomorrow, May the 9th at 6:30 p.m. at OSU Tulsa North Hall Auditorium, which is located at 700 North Greenwood Avenue. Refreshments will be provided by India's Plate. So come on by. Just you ain't even got to go home. Just come on over, watch the to the town hall, and you eat there.
yes, sir.
Tulsa Mayfest is going to be happening
Man.
May 10th through 12th downtown.
I'm coming for the food.
There's going to be many local artists from our community like T. Rush and the Tea Party, Steph Simon, TMC Records, Tony Mason, Majesty Pearson, Michael Fields Jr. So you guys,
Salina.
and we are also going to be on the main stage, Guthrie Green main stage. I'm trying to get that. From 4 o'clock p.m. until 11 o'clock p.m. on Friday. So you guys make sure you come out. There's going to be a lot of great artists that are going to be, out there. So we want to make sure that we are
Are you ready to
represented.
host? How you feel like hosting?
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm
you
ready
gonna
to go.
dance?
I
done
am.
all my old dance
Hey.
moves from the night. I've been loose. I'm doing push-ups. Doctor
We done
said-
lost weight, so we ready.
We
Yeah,
did
we
crunches
ready.
and everything. So man, y'all come out. It's gonna be good vibes, good
Yeah.
entertainment. We're gonna be on the main stage on the Guthrie Green from 4
Yeah.
until 11. We're gonna be introducing them, keeping the energy hype. So World One Development News you can use NYCU.FM team along with Corey D.
Yes, Corey
Y'all
D's going to be
in the
there.
house. So
Yes.
y'all come see us.
All right, Black Wall Street Rally 2024.
Write this one
This
down.
is my jam right here. So if y'all don't know, I'm a motorcycle. I love motorcycles. Love. Charles made me sell my motorcycle, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
We ain't gonna get into that.
Okay,
I want you to have no
we-
setback.
I know, right? So this is gonna be happening May 16th through 18th on Greenwood. There's gonna be vendors, food. There's gonna be plenty of motorcycles, and I'm telling you, they pull out all the stops. They got motorcycles blowing fire.
Stay
and
focused.
just all kind
Stay
of stuff.
focused. Stay focused.
So yours truly is going to be on the stage. I am going to be welcoming the women motorcycle riders. And this is something that I want to share with you guys. Guinness Book of World Records is going to be here. The hope is that we can break the record for the most women bikers at an event.
Write that down.
So
Okay.
we are so excited about that. We are stoked about it. I am going to be introducing our state representative at 10 o'clock, Regina Goodwin. So she's going to do a welcome. And then at 12 o'clock, I'm going to be introducing our city councilwoman, Vanessa Hall Harper. So she's going to do a welcome. Okay. So, and, we're excited about that. It's going to be a great time. And then later on that evening, SOS Band is going to be here.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Look.
see, the guys like, yeah, that's what we going to
we wasn't even into it, but all the fire.
Guinness Book of World Records, we don't care nothing about that. SOS Band, we there.
And I got to do a huge shout out to JB Smooth, man, Black Wall Street Media Group, because he's doing all the staging, he getting it all set up and all of that stuff. So JB Smooth, his fingerprint is all over it.
Yes.
Yeah, the show's produced by Black Wall Street Media Group. Thank you for the shout out, Charles.
Yeah.
I ain't showing nothing but love.
Thank you.
Yes. So Don Diego's also going to be there, and comedian Grossman is going to be there as well. Gates are going to open up at 7 o'clock p.m. Tickets are $40. If you have not registered for the bike rally, you can go to blackwallstreetrally.com to get all of the information about all the happenings that's going to be taking place. Oasis Fresh Market is going to be celebrating their 3-year anniversary on Saturday as well. Saturday, May 18th. It's going to be from 12 o'clock p.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. They're located at 1725 North Peoria Avenue. They're going to be having inflatables, a hockey rink, arts and crafts, gift card giveaways, and free food while supplies last.
Kamara, I'm going to talk to Nicole. Even though I don't have a big problem, I just need a little doctor for a little bit. See, because her and JB going to the rally. Now, because we hosting Oasis too, and I'm gonna be there live.
I'm coming.
On a motorcycle. When you go on a motorcycle, you ain't
We're gonna have to
coming.
get you a
JB done put his look.
we're gonna get you a slingshot.
JB done put his shades on.
Let's do
We ain't
it.
coming. Doc, you see how
We
they
can
do
rap
me?
it.
I
We
see
can
how they
rap
do
it.
Now, but
Put
you know I
Broadwalk
love
Development
AJ,
on
and
I
I
know.
love
Hey.
also the turn up is gonna be real.
Yes.
Gonna be real.
So we gonna be hosting over here, hosting on there. It's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Yes. All right. Expungement Expo, save the date. It's going to be happening June 1st at the 36th Street North Event Center, located at 1125 East 36th Street North. We want you guys to stay tuned for more information. You can visit Tulsa Expungement Expo or the 36th Street North Event Center or World One Development on Facebook to get all the information.
Quick shout out, man. We got so many people on, man. I love y'all. Nicole Johnson,
Hey,
welcome
hey,
to the
hey.
show. Wynn, welcome to the show.
Hey,
My
Wynn.
cousin Blackberry,
Hey, Black.
welcome to the show. Narice, welcome to the show.
Hey, hey,
Jennifer
hey.
Neely.
Hey, Jennifer, what's
Susan in
happening,
from the
sis?
Carolinas is in here. Miss Rogers is in.
Hey,
she
hey,
said, hey, y'all, blue fire, you know.
Okay.
Calm down.
Kamara's like, let's stop all this. Hey, yeah.
That's my guy. This me and Kamara. We
Yeah,
have our
yeah.
own thing going on.
Yes.
Come on with it.
All right, Juneteenth is
Yes.
coming up. June 13th through 15th on Greenwood. There's going to be a 5K run and a 1-mile sunrise walk/run. National recording artist Kiki Wyatt, Tamar Braxton, and H-Town are going to be performing. So
H-Town.
for more information, go to tulsajuneteenth.org. We're going to have a blast. I'm
Let me
telling
ask you this. Did
Yeah.
you skip right over Legacy Fest? I think you did.
Did I skip over that?
No, hold on. Hold up. Rewind. Play. Go ahead.
All right, Legacy Fest is going to be happening June 1st on Greenwood. It's going to be featuring artist Anthony Hamilton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that on your calendar. I know that you
Yes.
should have tuned in just for this part if you didn't know.
wait.
Listen, so we're trying to let you guys know about this stuff in advance,
Black
even
Wall
though we
Street,
understand that this stuff
Greenwood.
is in June. But hey, it's about to go down.
It's already
about
made.
to get stupid.
Grab your
on
tickets.
Greenwood.
It's gonna be good.
It's
The
about
whole
to get
summer
stupid.
gonna be lit. So
Get on the
North
train
Tulsa
now.
It's
It's the
stupid.
place to be.
The
All
whole
aboard!
Come on with the Legacy Fest
Right.
again. Come on.
All right, so then Legacy Fest, June 1st, Anthony Hamilton, featured artists. You know, there's going to be all types of creatives there. There's going to be all types of artisans there. So make sure that you come. I mean, people are coming from all around
All
the nation.
over the nation
to
coming
bring their
to
wares.
North Tulsa,
Yes.
Black Wall Street. When they say don't go north, you better come north.
You better come
The
on.
vibes are good. It's always
Yeah.
good, and we host the largest Juneteenth in the country.
Yes.
So Legacy Fest, all this stuff is all good. So
Legacy-
shout out
Yes.
on the Legacy Fest to Dr. Tiffany Crutcher, man,
Yes.
because she will put.
making it work.
She does this for our ancestors, for our descendants, and she does it for our survivors.
Yes.
We still got 2.
Yes.
Mother Randall and Mother Viola Fletcher. So she does it for them so we can recognize them, put good energy. So 110.
Man.
My God, it's coming up. 110?
Wow.
Let's go with it. What else we got, Damali? I know.
All right, Uganda missions coming up for us in 2024. It's actually going to take place in July. Why are we telling you this? I'm glad you asked. We are telling you this because we need donations.
Yes.
We are actually going to be taking the Juice Radio, some Juice Radio Show members. So right here, KBOB 89.9, the Juice Radio Show. We're taking a couple of members from the Juice, like 3. And then we're also going to be taking a couple of students from McLean High School.
We taking them out
right
there,
in our own
exposing
backyard. So we're going to be exposing them to another culture. We're going to be going over to Uganda. We're going to be talking with Parliament about, things that they can do in this particular village in Kamuli, Uganda, that they can do in order to make their community more urban. We're also going to be building a home for someone in that community. So we have a lot of great things that are planned. We're going to be taking over medical supplies. We're going to just be doing a lot. So we need your help.
Yeah.
We need funding.
Help.
To help.
JB said help is on the way.
So we just went yesterday and got passports for some of the Juice Radio Show members, So we want to be able to be a blessing, to be able to help them because it's all about exposure. Some folks don't even get out of North Tulsa.
Yeah.
Us working at EduRec, we have taken kids bowling on the other side of town and they're like, are we going out of town?
Out of town.
Because they have not even been out of community.
Damali, I think what happens, a lot of people don't realize, Doc and Kamara, how fortunate we are.
Yeah.
Just for the privileges we have. Yeah. But when you're having a kid and you just taking them over to the Jinx Aquarium and they 10, 12 and say, are we going out of town?
That's something.
And they look like you and me. That's kind of disheartening. So we can take them to Uganda.
Yes.
We're going to take them all the way. You're going to see plenty of stuff.
You really going out of town now.
Maybe you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
you out of town now because you're on this flight for 12 hours.
Yeah,
You're going to know.
that part.
You're going to cross that pond. Anyway, okay, we got next. But we appreciate the support and the love, but it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, so if you would like to make a donation, please go to world1development.com/Uganda-missions. No amount is too large or small. Please make a donation today.
All right, y'all. We got to get ready to get out of here. It's been a loaded show. We appreciate all the love. Man, we still got over 1,000 people on. Final thoughts, Kamara, whatever's on your heart. One more time, your event, and then anything else you want to tell the people.
Well, again, the Candidates Town Hall tomorrow, OSU Tulsa, the auditorium, North Hall, 6:30, 8:30. Be there. You want to hear from these candidates. And again, just get out and vote.
Pull up.
Yes.
He said pull up.
Pull up. Get out and vote.
Doc, man, we miss you, man. We see you came back with the Grand Slam home runs.
Yes.
We appreciate it, man. Tell the people, whatever your final thoughts are, give it to them.
Final thoughts are, listen, everybody needs to know their numbers. I'm proud of you two that you guys have gone out there and you're being seen by your doctors and you're being proactive. We want to be proactive in our health care. Preventative medicine is always the best medicine. And you know what? Love your neighbor. Come on. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Just like that. DJ JB Smooth, the producer with the Loke song.
Hey, Doc, my numbers is down too.
Okay, brother.
But my question is, I'm having a hard time losing weight.
Okay.
Is that a psychological, neurological thing, or what is the deal?
Well, listen, you know what? There's probably several factors that's involved in that. Sometimes it's actually good to talk to a weight loss counselor.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes it's, we do a lot of psychological eating. We do, depending upon if we're in a good mood, bad mood, sad, happy, we eat. Sometimes people eat because, that's what they've always done. It's kind of like a social thing. So, and there's actually some good programs out there, some apps out there that actually look into that. So, You know what? Yeah.
I didn't know if it was like a neurological thing going on or a physical thing.
Rewired.
Because I have this problem with when I get a hamburger or something. I just
you want to finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next time you get a hamburger, cut it in half.
Cut it in half.
Eat only one half of it.
Eat half of it.
Put the other half in the refrigerator. Come back to it the next day.
I ain't gonna eat that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
the point.
Look, Dog, one thing
that's
you do,
the point.
Here's the ticket. Me and Jay, one thing, he could just probably not hang with me. Because all I do is eat. But I go to the gym and I run. Because I feel guilty.
Okay, well, listen. Then he needs to hang with you. Because if you go eat then you take him to the gym with you.
You know, JB, there you go.
Yeah, don't fall off.
You might want to go to the gym with Charles. That might help out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna eat together and run together.
I mean, I do some of my own workouts too. You know what I'm saying? But I just trying to get some advice from the doctor.
Hey.
I'm making sure it's not a neurological, psychological thing going on.
And listen, you know what?
You think he can rewire you and you're going to get
Hey,
skinny?
take
I
it
think-
one day at a
No.
time.
My
man.
left
One day at
brain
a
is
time.
having a tug of war with my right brain.
Oh,
and-
God.
Doc said it best, one day at a time. Real quick,
day at a
Valerie Harding said, thank you guys, you know nothing but love. She said that she will not be singing at Juneteenth, but she will be hosting Juneteenth on Friday.
Yes.
Big kudos to Valerie for that.
Yes.
Now, you got to let out a couple notes. Now, you can't just
Now.
host and not give us a little something.
Don't play.
Donnell Mitchell, welcome to the show. We wrapping up. You want to...
So real quick before we go, Robert Caddy has this question. He said it would be interesting to know who the representation, I guess the representative, is that brought the consideration about the identification at the liquor stores to the floor. Sure, that wasn't Sid's idea about checking IDs. We should find out the representative and which constituency they are representing. So I can tell you it's Representative Robert Manger. He's a Republican from Oklahoma City that actually brought that to the floor, and the bill was carried by Senator Darrell Weaver of Moore.
Yeah.
You know what,
that's
Damali?
the answer to your question.
You know what? Now you are officially a snitch. You just snitching on a live air. You're a snitch. I'm riding with a snitch. I
Public-
never knew.
hey,
I'll
public
be hanging with a
information.
snitch.
Public
Doc, I
information.
need y'all. Somebody.
It's a question. It's in the article.
JB got his locks on. Keep your locks on. She's
Public
snitching. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Thug life.
That ain't snitch. That's public.
That's
It
not
just
this.
sounds like she was snitching.
So
though,
some-
Kamara.
It's
It
public
sound like it.
Damali,
She asked
some-
Thank you, Kamara. Thank you for
She
being on
wasn't
my
snitching.
side. Dang.
It just sound like it. Now.
somewhere the information has got to be out there on the internet on which case this all stemmed from, because I'm sure there was some kind of legal
Yeah, I'm
case
sure there was some kind of
We gonna-
that caused
something.
this action.
Robert Caddy said also, JB, get to better. You are important.
Get to better. Let me
Yeah,
see.
That's what he be working out. Go on.
BETTER.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You
All
need to
right,
go
y'all.
holler at him. Go holler.
I
I might come to better.
Look,
Yeah.
That's gonna
AJ
make
laughing
time.
because you called me a snitch.
It sounds like a snitch. Kamara said you wasn't snitching.
Kamara,
It sounds
thank you.
That's not
snitch-ish.
snitching.
Nope, Doc said I ain't snitching
It
either.
sounds like you educated.
I'm educating.
That's why I love y'all. Hey, what's your final thought, Damali, before we get out of here? Because we can be here forever.
Final thought. Know your numbers. That's very important. Educate yourself about these candidates.
Yes.
You need to know that. That is very, very important, because who you put in office is who is going to be raising your kids and who is going to affect what your kids do. And take responsibility for your own well-being. You know, how do you want to live? How do you want to show up in the world? You know, if you think you need to lose 30 pounds, JB,
Don't do me.
Then
Don't
do that.
Don't do me.
That's your final thought.
that's my final
The
thought.
Molly.
All right, my final thought is show a act of kindness to somebody
Yes.
today. An act of kindness is something you didn't have to do. You just did it out of the
Random.
kindness of your heart. And part of that is y'all tuned into our show today. So you already did your act of kindness. But we got to go, y'all.
Outta
We love
here.
y'all. Kamara, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming
Yes.
in. As always, our community, our health. When do you tune into that?
Hey, Friday from 12 to 1. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a representative from Children and Family Services is going to be there on Friday, talking about the different services, locations, things of that sort. So please tune in.
Yes.
And that's on KBOB 89.9 FM. It's every Friday. So if you need a doctor overdose, not like that, that's a little extreme. But every Friday at 12 noon, a doctor will be here covering different areas of your life, and you can always get your questions answered. This has been news you can use with your boy Charles Hopper, that's me.
And Damali Wilson, that's me.
And we are live right here on KBOB 89.9 FM every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So make sure you tune in.
Hey, AJ said I did my research.
What up, AJ, Brother Energizer? If you'd like to promote or advertise your event or business right here on this show,
Hey.
all you got to do is go to Whirlwind Development on social media, specifically Facebook. This has been Whirlwind Development's news you can use with your host, Mr. Charles Harper, and the world famous Damali Wilson, who lost 37 pounds last month. I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
Boy, you are silly.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on this program belong solely to the host and their guests, and not necessarily to this station, organization, committee, or other groups or individuals associated with KBOB 89.9. Y'all have a good day. Don't forget to show some love. Peace.
Hey.
Love y'all.
Later.
Have a good one.
I'm tired of
If you would like to watch this show again, please follow us. News You Can Use on YouTube and hit the rewind button and watch it from the top. See you later.